It's pleasant to go shopping to buy something new. The trouble is, something new must have something else new to go with it.
I must buy some new shoes, Neville.
You shouldn't spend any more money now, Mary. After all, I've just bought you a new dress.
Exactly, darling. You've bought me a lovely new dress. So now I really must have some new shoes to go with it.
Perhaps you're right. Maybe you ought to have some shoes to match the dress.
Ought? I must. There's nobody to serve us.
I'm just coming. Now, madam, can I help you? I ought to say that we close at 1 o'clock and it's 5:02 now.
Oh, then we oughtn't to stay. We must come back another day.
Oh, you mustn't go. You must stay until you found what you want.
We'll be as quick as we can.
Oh, good. I'm sorry. It's just we should close in 5 minutes.
Then we must find a pair of shoes in 5 minutes.
Now, madam, what size shoes do you want?
5.
Colour?
Beige.
Or brown.
Oh, even red.
Would you like to look at some of these? How about this one? It's very smart, isn't it?
Yes. Very nice. I'll have this pair.
No. No, you must never take the first pair. You should look at several pairs. You should compare them.
Then how about this one, madam?
Ah, yes.
No, the shoes mustn't have laces.
Mustn't or needn't, sir?
Mustn't. My wife doesn't want laces.
But look, darling, these shoes have laces.
Your new shoes should be different, so they mustn't have laces. You're always buying shoes with laces, and you're always breaking the laces.
How about this, madam? This one hasn't any laces, sir.
That's not bad, Mary.
Perhaps I ought to show the girl my new dress.
Oh, you needn't do that, madam.
My wife's right. The shoes must go with the dress.
Yes, I see what you mean.
You ought to have taken the dress out before we looked at the shoes.
Yes. Perhaps I should have done.
Here we are, sir.
I like that. You ought to try that on, dear.
But there isn't time. I needn't try it if it's the right size.
No, you must try it on, dear. You must sit down and try it on.
Oh, all right.
There. You've broken another lace. You ought to be more careful. That's nice. But you should try on the other shoe as well.
I needn't try both.
I think you should, dear.
Oh, very well. That's fine.
Perhaps you should try another color.
Surely, sir, madam, there's one pair that's right.
There ought to be, but somehow there isn't. Have you any others?
Will you excuse me a moment, please? I must speak to the manager.
What's wrong, Joyce?
Oh, Mr. Brown, it's after 1 o'clock. Oughtn't I to close the shop?
You're still serving a customer, aren't you? Don't be silly, girl. You must serve the customer before you shut the shop.
We really mustn't keep the girl any longer. We ought to hurry.
I've told you, you should never be in a hurry when you buy shoes. You should always take your time.
Then we ought to come back another day.
Perhaps you're right.
But we ought to buy something.
We needn't.
I know we needn't, but I think we ought to.
I think you ought to serve this customer, Mr. Brown, or we'll never shut the shop.
No, Joyce. She's your customer, and you must serve her. Oh, my goodness me.
Have you made up your mind, madam? Sir?
Yes, thank you. My wife wants some shoelaces. Perhaps we could look at some.
Here are some examples of must, ought, should, needn't, for obligation and necessity.
I must buy some new shoes. You've bought me a new dress, so I must have some new shoes to go with it.
We close in 5 minutes.
Then we must find a pair of shoes in 5 minutes.
We must come back another day.
Oh, no. You mustn't go. You must stay until you've found what you want.
I'll have this pair.
No, you must never take the first pair. The shoes mustn't have laces.
Mustn't or needn't?
Mustn't. My wife doesn't want laces. You must try the shoe on.
I needn't try it on if it's the right size.
You must sit down and try it on.
These shoes have laces.
Your new shoes should be different.
Perhaps I should have taken the dress out before we looked at the shoes.
You should never be in a hurry when you buy shoes. You should always take your time. You should try on the other shoe as well.
I needn't try both.
I think you should. Maybe you ought to have some shoes to match the dress.
I ought to say that we close at 1 o'clock.
Then we oughtn't to stay. Perhaps I ought to show the girl my new dress.
You ought to have taken the dress out before we looked at the shoes.
Oughtn't I to close the shop?
No. You're still serving a customer.
We ought to buy something.
We needn't.
I know we needn't, but I think we ought to.
Neville wasn't very good at helping his wife do some shopping. Let's see what happens when he is helped by the salesman.
I think I ought to buy a new tie.
But you've got lots of ties already.
They're all old ones. And we're going to the Joneses tomorrow evening, remember?
You needn't buy a new tie just because we're going to the Joneses.
We ought to look our best. The Joneses are always very smart.
I know, but we needn't try to be smarter than they are.
I think we should. They're always trying to impress us.
All right, then. You get your tie, but I ought to do the rest of the shopping. I shan't be long.
Neither shall I. Come back in 10 minutes. Eh?
Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, good afternoon.
Oh, you, sir. Can I help you?
Yes, please. Can I have a look at some ties?
Oh, yes, of course. You should see Mr. Brown. Oh, Mr. Brown?
Yes? Why, it's Mr.
Smith.
Yes.
I want a tie.
This way, Mr. Smith. This way, please.
Don't you remember? Last week, Mrs. Smith tried on 50 pairs of shoes and then bought 1 pair of laces.
That's all right, Joyce. You must learn from me. I'll deal with Mr. Smith. You ought to try a pair of those.
They're very nice. But I want a tie. I can come back another day for the boots. I needn't try them on now.
I think you should, sir. You really ought to try a pair on now. Once these boots are sold, we may not have any more like them again. Not in your size, anyway. What is your size, Mr. Smith?
Size 9.
Joyce.
But really, you needn't go to so much trouble.
A pair of these in size 9, please. No trouble, sir. No trouble at all. But, I'm just looking at your trousers, sir. Oh. They're rather narrow for those boots.
You mean I ought not to wear those boots with these trousers?
No, sir. You should wear trousers like these.
I see what you mean, I must say. But I didn't come in here to buy boots or trousers. I came in for a tie.
You needn't buy the trousers now, sir. Just try them on.
They're rather tight.
They give a little as you wear them. You should pull yourself in.
I suppose I'm putting on weight. I ought to diet. I must eat less.
No, sir. Really, you're very slim. Now, you must try the boots.
Thank you.
Allow me, sir. Now, you must pull while I push. There. Now the other one.
I needn't try both.
I think you should, sir. You should try the other one as well. There. Oh. Beautiful. You must admit, sir. Beautiful.
Yes. But don't you think I ought to take them off now? After all, I'm only trying them on.
Oh, yes. But you shouldn't take them off yet. You should see the trousers and the boots with a different jacket. You needn't fasten the jacket, sir. But you should have a new shirt.
But there's something else.
A tie, Mr. Smith.
Precisely. I came in for a new tie.
Magnificent, sir. Magnificent.
Yes. Yes, I like that. I must have that.
I knew you'd like it, sir. But if you'll excuse me, I must just make up the bill. Let me see.
You're not buying all that, are you? You only came in here for a tie.
Of course I am. We must keep up with the Joneses.